with my light here. Hi guys, happy Saturday. It's Michelle with Serendipity House, and as promised, I'm here to work on this Bombay chest right here. And let's see, I'm going to just take a second to try to be able to see you guys. So when you come on, say hello, where you're from, what you're doing today on a Saturday. It's noon here, and I've been working on a few little projects while I've been waiting to come on. And it's about 20 degrees and cold, and I've had the door open all morning because somebody else in this building, I think, controls the heat in this half of my workshop. So it was getting kind of warm. Alrighty. Sorry, this part I don't particularly like I cannot see anything. There we go. I found myself. Okay, so let's see what we're working on today. Say hello when you come on, just so I know that anybody's watching, because if nobody watches, I'll probably just crank my music up and paint by myself. Okay, so here's the Bombay chest that you guys said that you wanted to see me paint today. I have already prepped it for you so that we're just ready to paint. So this is what I've done. I cleaned it, and then I use this, which is a sanding deglosser, and it basically takes the finish off and it makes it kind of a little sticky. And it just helps clean it, and I have found that this works well if I don't want to sand a piece down. You don't really need to sand with the piece of sand this with the type of paint that I'm using, and I'll tell you about that. So this is a good prep. Yeah, that's pretty easy to use. You can just get that at your local hardware store. All right, so I am using Debbie's Design Diary paint. And I think I told you I already picked the colors out. So this is Bohemian Blue, which is, I use this so often. This is kind of like my neutral instead of a black. So this is Bohemian Blue. It dries lighter than this. And this is Mermaid Tail, my absolute favorite. It's a very pretty turquoisey, more on the blue side. So I'm going to be using these two colors to paint today. And then all the details are going to, like all of the raised details, and I don't know, I may add more later. I'm going to decide as I go. But this is Golden Ticket. It is also Debbie's Design Diary DIY paint, and it has it's a really pretty gold, and it has a built-in top coat. So this will go on last after everything else is sanded. And sometimes I go over it with I also use my gilding wax, which you guys have probably seen me use a lot. Okay, so let's get started. Because you probably can see it, but I figured I'd have to stand in a stool, so I already painted the top is Bohemian Blue, so you can see kind of how that dries. And then of course when you top coat it, it really deepens the color. So let's get started. Let me know if you have any questions. So this paint I've been using for about a year. It is it's made in the USA. What am I gonna, all right, wait. Before I start telling you about the paint, if you want to hear it. I usually don't paint with my drawers in. I am somebody who takes everything apart, cleans it, does it separately. I also never leave my hardware on. Well, this hardware has little tiny, there's no way to get it in from the inside of the drawer. It has little tiny screws on the front, and I even have like eyeglass screws, screwdriver, and I couldn't get it out. So they're staying on there, and I really never do that. But I kind of have to do it for this one, so I'm just telling you why. I'm going to paint the drawers, and then I'm going to take them out, and I'll tell you why I do that. Because if you paint it straight in, first of all, your drawers could stick, and you got a mess in between all of these lines here, and it looks messy inside. And so that's why I don't do that. So what I'm going to do is pull the drawer out, paint it, and then take it out and sit it on the ground so that we can paint the frame without making a mess on the side of the drawers. Alrighty, who else does that? You know, when I'm watching videos, I am always, it seems like I'm noticing people are leaving in their drawers all the time. And I wonder if they're just doing it because of the video or if that's the way some people paint. I find that to be really messy, and the only time that I have actually painted that way is if I've done all my drawers first, and then I go back because I say I'm going to do blending, and so I want the whole piece to blend together. Then I will go back, put the drawers in, and do my blending, but I've usually by then already sealed and taken care of the sides so that I don't make a mess. All right, and it's okay if this is a little bit messy, because like I said, the gold goes on last over everything. I'm going to paint that little side piece on there. So probably if you guys have watched my work, you've noticed that I like to paint texturally. And what I mean by that is this is so small, it's kind of hard to demonstrate it. But most of the time I load my paintbrush pretty full. I can't really do that here because it's such a small area. And I paint by like crisscrossing. So I'll do X's and crisscrosses. I'm not going for a smooth look because I like to see texture in my pieces so that when I go back and wax, because I love waxing. Well, all right, that was pretty easy. Because I love waxing, when I go back and wax, you can see, it just gives it more depth. And so when I have a larger piece, and what I did on the top is I just really crisscrossed it, like so you can see the brush strokes. All right, so how about, just for fun, I probably normally wouldn't do this right away. I'd wait till it dries. But let's see. Actually, I can paint the top drawer and then I'll go back to that when it dries a little bit. And I'm going to put the mermaid tail right in there so we can see how it looks. I'm trying to go with the flow here. Anybody watching? Hi Leanne. Hi Mark. My husband is watching and he likes to give tips on how to make the videos better after, which is great, except I hate that part and I'm not good at it. So I could use a video techie to just set all that up. It took me so long to set my website up, you guys, when I did it. And I have to tell you, I don't know how many of you have websites, but I have accidentally deleted like whole collections of things by, you just press one button and you do it quick and you think you're doing the right thing, and I've had to go back and re-enter everything in. That kind of stuff takes a really long time for me and I don't enjoy it. But one of the things actually that my husband is looking at that kind of bugs him, and it is kind of annoying, but I don't know how to fix it really. At least I haven't found the button he's telling me about. Is that if you, when you're going live on Facebook, when I do my transfers and things, if there's any words written down, everything's backwards. And I have noticed that on mine and other people's. Hi Deanne, how are you? Hey Cheryl. Cheryl, I am using DIY paint. This is Bohemian Blue. I'm trying to figure out how to do it with my drawer still in because I typically just don't paint this way. There, okay. Yep, it's Bohemian Blue. It is DIY paint. It's not a navy, it's more of a blue. I love this. It's kind of my neutral. I paint with it a lot, and it looks really fabulous with black glaze over it. I don't know if you guys are like black glaze over blue or navy and black. I think it looks really good. All right, did I do this over here? No. All right, and then we're going to put Mermaid Tail right in the middle as soon as I'm done with this side piece here. So I started to say the DIY paint is made in the U.S. It is a nice, it's pretty thick. Sometimes I leave it out and let it thicken and keep forgetting I'm not in the frame, sorry. And I will trowel it on, like take a putty knife and trowel it on to get texture. I love doing that. And if you want it to be thinner, like no brush strokes, and you don't want the texture, all you have to do is spray a little, just add water. It blends really nice. It's very highly pigmented. There's only 9 ingredients, so it's really about as all natural as you can get, and it can't freeze. I have a hard time restocking in the winter because yeah, because they can't ship it. I think it ships from Santa Fe maybe. And of course, it's cold here and there's a lot of freezing spots along the way, so it takes me a long time to restock. Okay, what else can I say? Do any of you use this paint? Have any of you ever tried DIY paint? This is Mermaid Tail, my favorite. I've got lots of this because I just think it's beautiful. All right, here we go. Against my better judgment, painting over hardware. I'm using the Klingon brushes. The first coat is really thin. Because first of all, this brush was just soaking in water. There we go. So this is the, if you've never used Klingon, they're synthetic brushes. I have tried lots and lots of brushes. I've tried lots of everything. I'm kind of I kind of overdo it. I do a lot of everything so I can find my favorite. And this is the only brush, gotta get in there, that I've ever used that has not dropped bristles. And I've spent a lot of money on brushes. It doesn't drop bristles, and it also does not rust. And you let it soak in water, and it works better that way. I think, see, there's little drips there. I'm trying to get into there, my hardware. I'll end up putting gold gilding on the hardware after. But I never do this. I feel like painting your hardware is just a shortcut, and it's just not right. But I guess sometimes, like today, it's not going to come off. And I also think I have too much water on my brush right now. So, Cheryl, you've never used DIY paint. You should try it. I've tried a lot of different paints. I like the natural clay ones, the paints that I have liked best that I've tried of this type of clay, of this type of paint. And what I mean by that is it's not milk paint, it's not, it doesn't have acrylic in it or anything like that. I like C.C. Caldwell. I have liked using Annie Sloan in the past, and I find this to be more similar to those than the others. There are a lot of them that have acrylics in them, which is great, except that I like texture, which means that, I don't need, acrylic is great for nice smooth painting, which you could also do with this. But since that's not my main goal, then, there's the right product for every project, I guess. Can you see that? Those colors look so pretty together, and with gold, I think they're gonna be amazing. Hi, Dixie. Who else is here? Deanne, Leanne, Cheryl. All right, let's see if I can, now I don't know what to touch. I didn't paint down there. This is also, so you can see it. I did this drawer first. You can see it drying, right? The lighter spots is where it's drying. So it dries pretty quickly. Plus I have a heat gun here. That'll make it dry even more quickly. Yeah, I don't know what else. Do you guys watch people paint a lot on lives? I'm easily bored, so I actually don't watch a lot unless I want to hear about a product. I'll watch a little bit, but it's just not really kind of something I'm interested in generally. Maybe also because I do it myself all day. Oh, drips. That's the other reason that painting hardware is not good. See, I'm getting drips, and this piece is for me. I definitely don't want a drippy look. Let's see, let me grab excuse me. All right, so what kind of paint do you guys use? So if you haven't used DIY, what is your paint of choice and why? Just kind of curious. Because I love trying different products. You just never know when your next favorite's going to come out. But I carry this in Sweet Pickens milk paint. And so that's what I use most of the time. And I chose those because I loved them and I use them. And if you guys are interested in milk paint, I'm doing a couple of benches next week that I think I'm going to do milk paint on. And it's the real milk paint made with powder. So it's not the same thing as the General Finishes milk paint. It's very different. It works differently. It takes a bit to get used to. But I'm going to do some benches next week in that if you guys are interested. It kind of has a mind of its own. So what do we think of the colors? I love the colors. All right, so let's take this out and work on the frame. Let that dry. It'll probably be dry pretty quickly. And the second coat will make all the difference, especially in the middle there, because I didn't have very much paint on there. All right. Not very interesting on the inside. All right, let me think. So, I also didn't do this. This, I think, is going to be the Bohemian Blue. All right, is an all paint DIY. Hi, Kathy. Kathleen. Kathy's my cousin. Kathleen is my cousin. Well, all paint is DIY because you have to paint it on yourself. That's right. You have a point. It's all do it yourself. I mean, if you could just open up the can and it could do the work, wouldn't that be great? Actually, it wouldn't, because this is the part that I like. I find this to be very therapeutic, is painting, which is another reason. And also, this is therapeutic, and I like textural work, and those are two reasons why I don't use a sprayer. I have a sprayer, but then I wouldn't get all chill by making brush strokes. All right, so let's take that out and do the frame. Let's see, somewhere to sit this. I'll be lining the drawers too and doing something on the side. I always do something with my Rifle paper, which is a paper company that I carry at Bowerbird, and they make really pretty wrapping paper that is very thick. Nice thick paper, so I use that for my drawer linings. And I think actually that's something I'm going to be sharing with you guys soon. I have something new coming up that I've been mulling over for apparently about a year, because I just looked at a Facebook group thing that I started but never invited anybody into yet, that I started a year ago. So I guess it takes me a while to have my ideas come to fruition here, huh? But anyways, my idea is to offer a monthly package and coordinate different products that I have that are not all sold on my website, but will be available in this package. For example, let's see. So I would take one of the papers. Oh, what am I doing? I really can't multitask. I would take one of the papers that I have that you can line your drawers with or do the sides of your drawers with, and I will coordinate a paper and a transfer. So I'll actually put together a sample of it later. And basically what it would be like, have you ever seen Mermaid paper? It's it's one of the wrapping papers by Rifle, and it's got mermaids all over it, and it is fabulous. And I would basically take that and put it in a package with maybe the mermaid transfer or the IOD mermaid mold. Let me see if I can turn the table here. I just realized you're not. This isn't dry enough for me to do another, so let's do this. So anyways, I could coordinate an IOD product, a drawer paper, and some DIY paint. And the DIY paint comes in these cute little sample sizes, which this little thing is, how many? This is 8 ounces. I have painted a whole a children's dresser, so like not a nightstand, not a big huge bureau, but it covers a lot. All right, so just want you guys to see what I'm doing while I'm chit-chatting here. Okay, I'm back in. Hey Kathy, Sarah, hey, how are you? I'm so happy to see you guys, some of my same friends tuning in and watching. I think I saw Jerry too. Hey Jerry. Jerry's laughing at my cousin. Yeah, you're right, Nikki. CC is because it's all natural, and that I think that is. Once I tried a lot of paints, then I realized, hey, I have a type. You know, there were certain. I mean, when I didn't know anything about them, so I didn't know why I liked CC Caldwell and DIY and Annie Sloan, but not to the same degree. I think because of the thickness and the chalkiness. I didn't realize why I liked them, and then I figured out it was because they are mineral-based chalk, natural, and have clay in them. And that paints very differently, and especially differently than house paint, right? Nikki, you mentioned that. I told you guys I'm painting a room in my house, and the other thing that I'm painting is some French doors. And there's 2 sets of French doors, double-sided, with probably 16 window panes in them, so it's a lot of detail painting. And now I'm doing a lot of razor blade scraping. But I hated it. I can't imagine painting furniture with that type of paint. You know, once you switch and you see what a difference an actual furniture, made for furniture kind of paint is. It's just night and day on what you can create, how easy it is, what the look is. And to each their own. I mean, some people like painting with that. I do not. And that's just me. And whatever you like is fine. All right, so let's put some Mermaid Tail in there. This is going to go in my house, and I'm not sure where yet, so I'm actually going to paint the back later, even though I usually don't do that. All right. Mermaid Tail. Can you tell the Mermaid Tail excites me? You just got your first mold from me. Oh, which mold did you buy? The molds are so much fun. They really are. I have to make another piece of art that's not going to be a sample board that I can sell. The one I did last week in videos is a sample board. Although if somebody wants to buy it, I would sell it. And I've got when I put that together, I made tons of extra. Because it's like a whole extra project to sit and cast molds. And I made a mess, let me tell you. I got resin everywhere. Which is why I don't do this in my dining room anymore. All right, I think that's gonna look pretty. I'm just not gonna mess with it because it's gonna need a second coat anyways. Oh, you got the cherub mold. Those are really pretty. I don't think I cast anything out of the cherub mold. I've got a whole bunch of, let me show you guys what I did. I've got 2 things like this that I made left over from last week. And so I have to find something to put the rooster and the bunny on. I didn't use those on my sample board. I used acorns and leaves and feathers and kind of a fall thing. But the molds are super fun. All right, let's turn around and do the other side, and we're going to do a second coat on the drawers and see how that looks. So the drop leaf table I was showing you guys yesterday, I painted it in Bohemian Blue. And I have decided that I'm gonna put the Midnight Garden transfer on it. So I'll show you that after. I haven't done the transfer yet, but that's my decision because I really want to use that transfer, and I don't have any furniture to put it on yet. I don't have any dressers or buffets coming out, so it's going to go on this tilt top table, which is actually, it's about 4 inches too short to fit the entire transfer. But that's okay. I'm willing to sacrifice because I really want to use that. So, oh, also, if you guys have been looking to purchase the Midnight Garden transfer, there are more shipping out next week. I sold a lot and the company went on back order, and I've got a lot more that I ordered and I've just been waiting for them. So I think that and the typesetting stamp are the only thing that I'm out of in my shop. Everything else I have in stock, and I've got lots more coming. All right. I can't listen to music. Other people play music when they go live, but I can't play mine. I don't know if it's because I have Bluetooth or what, but I can't play music while I'm going live because it actually works over the same system. And I can't sing, so. Hey, Jennifer. Jennifer, I am using DIY Bohemian Blue right now. That's the dark blue color. And on the middle right here, I'm going to be putting Mermaid Tail. And this is the last side. I've already painted the other one, so we'll be able to go back and see what a second coat looks like. Wow, it looks so different when it looks like I painted the wrong color when I got over here because it looks so different when it dries. All right, I think that's good. We're going to add in a little bit of Mermaid Tail. Okay. So here are the colors if you're just joining. Bohemian Blue, and then for the inset panels, I'm using Mermaid Tail. Putting it on with my Klingon brush. Not being super careful because all of these raised details are going to be painted gold with my golden ticket. There we go. Oh. I feel like I need a smaller brush for this. Let me run to the bathroom where I keep my Klingon brushes in water and come back with a smaller brush. Be right back. So the small brush is the Klingon Flat 30, and it's just got a smaller head than the one I was using so that I don't make too much of a mess. So we're going to get in here. Well, this is tricky. My molding's kind of coming together, so as I'm looking at it, I'm like, wait, which part's going to be gold? I don't know if all that whole thing should be gold or if the blue should be there too, but okay. I'm going to paint that, and I can go back and paint over it with gold and decide. Oh, I missed a spot. Somebody told me I missed a spot here. Or maybe you did. Got here late, what color? Hi, I already read that. Sorry. I've had enough coffee. All right, we're gonna turn this back around and take a look at the drawers. It is drying pretty quickly. All right. I'm gonna pop the drawers back in. Alrighty, if I can tell which is which here. I think this is the bottom drawer. Nope, this is the top drawer. It's mostly dry. Trying not to nick anything while I... Right. The difference also between what these look like sealed and unsealed, I think is pretty profound too. So this will all just really deepen once it's sealed. All right, so I'm going to do a second coat already. I guess that, you know, that's one of the benefits of a natural and a chalk clay-based paint is it dries pretty quickly. This is only going to need 2 coats. The first coat I usually put on pretty thin. I think most paints use, you know, you would need to use 2 coats. And then I will probably go back and maybe wet sand or use just a really high grit, or maybe my steel wool. I'm not gonna super sand it, it doesn't need it. And as I said before, I like the brush strokes. I'm going to have to get an artist brush for sure to do the raised parts. Probably I will, just because I know the way I paint and the position I need to have my arm in, I'll probably be putting those down so that the drawers are facing up and I can come over the top and paint those. That's just much easier on your shoulder and your hands and gives you a little bit more control over your brush. All right. Get everything moved to the other side because I was painting over there. Oh. So when this dries, it's going to go back to looking more like this color that you see. Dark, that's dark. It's just very rich. All right, here I am going around the, if you missed the beginning, I gave my spiel on how I really don't, I've never painted a piece with hardware on it before, but these won't come off. And I also usually take my drawers all the way out. Oh, look at that. I just love this color. I don't know what it is about turquoise. So what are some things that you guys are interested in learning or seeing live? I would love some ideas. It's been my goal this, not my resolution, because I don't do New Year's resolution, but my goal to do regular lives. I'm having a hard time finding regular time. I've been going pretty randomly as far as time-wise goes. But I'm trying to go at least once a week. Sometimes it ends up being more because if I'm mid-project and I want to work on it, I can't wait a week to get back to it. I like to mostly finish them and get them in the shop, or at least get them in in my quay for when I need them in the shop. But I can do milk paint. I told you I want to try powder glaze. I've got everything all ready for that. I just haven't done it yet. I have done quite a few epoxy pieces, though I'm not sure at this point what I would put under the epoxy. I'm wanting to try a product. Have you guys ever seen an artist, a page called Mica Revolution, maybe? Anyways, they do mica and they sell it in sheets, and they show projects done with it on countertops, on walls, on ceilings, and I've been thinking of trying some of that on like an end table or something and epoxying over it. So let me know what you're interested in seeing. All of the IOD products. I haven't done stamps in a while. Certainly could do some stamping with ink on, like, making pillows, or I could do another color transfer, because that was my only one and that was super fun. So let me know what you want to learn, and if it's something that I can show you, I'd be happy to. And if it's something that I don't know how to do, I'll either jump in and learn with you, and let you know where you can go learn it. Got no problem with that. I'm always trying to learn new things. Makes it fun, or different ways to do the things that I already do. I think if you overbrush, which is what I'm doing here, sometimes you go back accidentally and pick the paint up. But man, I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't have that stupid handle in the way. Sheets. Oh, Serafina, she said she's back. I didn't even know you left. I can't tell. So Jennifer, the driftwood technique. So are you talking just with paints, or are you referring to the IOD plank, stamp, or the colors, just blending the colors of driftwood? Certainly we can do that. Sheets, question mark. What do you mean by sheets? Show you how to do sheets. I'm not sure what you mean, so clarify. I will take all of these ideas into consideration. After all, that's how I ended up painting this Bombay chest today, right? Although I painted the other piece without you anyway, so. But I think you're gonna love that, because it's gonna get the Midnight Garden transfer, and that's a favorite. Do any of you currently, are you using the IOD stamps? I mentioned that that's one I haven't really done a lot of. So who uses those already? I'm gonna dip into the wrong paint here in a minute by accident. This will end up being waxed, by the way. I probably didn't say that, but I'm a waxer. All right, that looks pretty good. I might need another coat of this blue, because in some of the spots it's not really covering the mermaid tail. I think I brushed it too much, which lifted some paint up. Okay, so Jennifer, we'll work on a driftwood technique. That sounds good. I'll have to play with some of my colors, but I have done it before. And it's really about the colors you choose. It's about the colors you choose in the blending. So that's definitely one that we can do. So sheets. Wanting to get the plank stamp to make some signs. Yes, I've used the plank stamp on some stools that I have down here that I never finished. I played with the stamp, and now I've got all of my cast molds sitting on top of it. You know, maybe you should say, Michelle, I think you should go around to your workshop and finish all of your unfinished projects, because that would help me immensely. I have got a buffet I started a year ago, and I was just lost interest and didn't like where it was going, wheeled it aside, started. That was a year ago, you guys. I have a desk that I started a month ago. I am going to get back to that, but I got sidetracked doing the pieces last week and the week before, which I was much more inspired to do, because I was using, you know, this is just going to be sanded and painted, and I've just been so excited to use my IOD products and the transfers, and I can't put them on everything, right? So things are just getting cast aside. All right. So I am liking this. I want to jump ahead and show you guys the gold, but I don't want to ruin it. I can't. It's not ready for that. All right. I guess, do you guys have any more questions? I think I'm going to let this dry, finish it up, not keep rambling, because I feel like I'm totally rambling. Let me just show you the pie crust table, which was choice number 2, that I painted in Bohemian Blue, and the transfer I'm putting on it. Because I'm not going to, I probably, unless you guys really want to, I'm not going to do another video applying a transfer. I could, I guess, but wait a minute. Oh, she's so pretty. All right, so you guys have probably all seen this. It's sold out, and I'm waiting because it went on back order. It's shipping to me Monday. I'm going to have more of these on the way. So this, oh, hold on. This is Midnight Garden. See, look at the color in that. This is the Midnight Garden transfer. Okay. This is going to go on. I have been waiting since like April. I saw this in April at a workshop, and I've been waiting to use it. I think it was April. So, all right, so this is the top of a pie crust table that I'm painting. And so the table, obviously a pie crust table, but it's a tilt top. So you can have it like this if you're using it, or it'll tilt that way with the legs behind it. And I love these. I love these. And oh, this is only about 3 inches shorter than the width of that transfer. So most of it will fit on there. But the reason that I love those is because they're compact. People put them out of the way, and I can get more funky with those than I can some other things, because of the way they're stored, and they tilt top up. They look like artwork. So I've sold a couple of like the Be Thou transfers with flowers on them, and they're a hit. And I just found this one last week, and I love the big ones. So, okay, I am gonna go. I'm just trying to read here. You're watching me when you have a ton of unfinished projects. Yep. I cannot advise you on that, because I am, well, first of all, here at my workshop, when I've got 3 or 4 projects going at once always, because let's face it, you can't sit around and wait for something to dry. So I've got plenty going on, but there are also plenty of things from more than a year ago, really. I'm not even going to show them to you. I basically put a tarp over them and use them to stand other furniture on. I just lose interest. You know, when we're painting, we need to feel inspired and feel that energy, and that's why I love doing this. And sometimes if you're just not feeling it with a piece, it's time to put it aside and hope that you can feel it again. So that's my hope. So I have no advice. And as a matter of fact, I think instead of making yourself paint it when you're not feeling it, it takes the joy away. And that's one of the reasons why I don't do a lot of custom work, is because I like to just go with it and feel it and enjoy what I'm doing. So not that I don't enjoy custom, but you know, there's a little more pressure and a little more restrictions. Okay, I've rambled. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. I'm going to post some pictures of all of this when it's done. Let me know some ideas for going live, please, what you want to learn. We have driftwood technique, and then sheets. Now I'm forgetting what the sheet idea was. Because she didn't answer me. So, Serafina, you said sheets, question mark. Did I say something about sheets? And you're following up? I'm not sure. Or if you have an idea for me to do something with sheets. Don't know. Let me know. All right. Have a great weekend. Have a great weekend. Paint. Enjoy yourself. Stay safe. Bye, everyone.